Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the AORUS GeForce RTX 4090 launch event. My name is Howard from AORUS, and of course, we're joined today once again by our wonderful product manager, Kevin.
Hey guys, glad to be here, and
Yeah.
another exciting day for 40 series.
Yep, it is, of course, the on-shelf date, as many of you know already. So we're going to be showing you guys, of course, what's new on, of course, this next generation of ADA-laced GPUs, talking about some of the new baked-in NVIDIA technologies, as well as show you guys some of our lineup for both the GIGABYTE and the AORUS GPUs as well. We have some of it in the studio today, as you guys can see here. So we're going to be getting down to the details, showing you guys all the cool features as well as the new cooling technologies, followed by some special announcements on availability towards the end here. So be sure to stick with us all the way to the end. With that being said, NVIDIA 40 series GPUs have been on everyone's minds. I'm sure not just today, but upcoming weeks, in the weeks leading up to the launch as well. And we're glad they're finally here. So I know some of you have been asking us, can we kind of take a look at 30 series versus 40 series? So we actually, did prepare some of that today. You can see we have the 4090 Master right in front of us, as well as the gaming OC right here. So yeah, let's get to it. So what's the big deal about 40 series anyways? So, well, first off, there are enhancements across the board here with third generation ray tracing cores, as well as fourth generation tensor cores. And we have something called DLSS, NVIDIA has something called DLSS SS3,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. So Kevin, can you tell us a little bit more about what's new with everything I just said, which might not make sense to everybody here?
Sure, yeah. We'll go over just really briefly what all these things mean and why it's such a big deal, for this new generation of graphics cards. So let's start off with ray tracing. So as its name implies, this is going to be, it calculates all your rays. And this provides your realistic lighting, your shadows, your reflections in all the scenes in your games. So for third generation, it now has twice the amount of ray triangle intersections calculations. And for the tensor cores, the fourth generation, this is where you're getting all that AI-powered, graphics rendering. And this is where it kind of powers, technologies like DLSS3. And this is also twice the AI performance for this generation. So now that we've mentioned DLSS3 a couple times, what does it mean, right? And what does it do? So DLSS3 is where you're going to have your upscaling, taking 1080p, you're moving to 4K, you're getting your FPS increase. And, how exactly does it do that? You can see in the chart here that DLSS3 not only just, upscales, in frame 1, it also generates an additional frame. So 7/8 of all display pixels are being generated by DLSS3. And this will give you a smoother experience and increased performance. So the next slide, the next chart is going to be our performance chart, and it will just kind of give you an idea of, how much better performance you're getting with 4090, and why it is in everyone's best interest if they can to kind of enable DLSS3 for gaming. So in something like Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is a really popular game out there right now. You're already seeing double the performance, and then all the way up to something like the upcoming Portal with ray tracing, that's more than 550% performance increase. So those are like pretty significant amounts of performance boosts. And that's why everyone's like so excited for DLSS3. So one other thing we just want to briefly go over is NVIDIA Reflex. And this is, it builds on DLSS3 and it synchronizes your GPU and your CPU together for the optimal responsiveness. Mm-hmm. So any sort of inputs while gaming is going to translate into very fast response from your system.
Yeah. And I know you guys have been asking us to compare 30 series versus 40 series. So I have with me here, this is our 3090 Ti gaming OC. In my hand, we have the 4090 gaming OC. If you guys want to do like a little size comparison, we kind of put them side by side. The 40 series here is actually a lot. You can kind of see
It's thicker.
it's thicker. It's bigger.
Basically bigger in every dimension.
In every dimension here, correct. But how about performance, right? So in terms of performance, compared to the 30 series, we're seeing anywhere from 2 to 4 times the performance in some games. As you guys can see here in the new ray tracing overdrive, you're able to get about 4 times more experience versus the RTX 3090 Ti in Cyberpunk in 4K. So that's pretty awesome. And the great news here is that you'll be able to enjoy about double the performance here on a more power efficient platform as well. Ada Lovelace is a very power efficient platform. And so if we can show the next chart here, as you can see in this graph, Ada performance is doubled for the same wattage compared to Ampere, which is great news for gamers everywhere. You can buy a card that kind of fits your current system's power, and you can enjoy that additional performance. So not only do we have more, RT cores packed into the GPUs now, now everything is running more efficiently, which the 4090 really is going to be a powerhouse for you gamers out there, especially if you want to push that 4K like 120.
Oh yeah, because before 30 series, 3080, 3090, 3090 Ti, that's where everyone's really beginning to kind of enjoy that 4K gaming experience. And then with 40 series, we can expect a lot better performance. And if you do want to max out 4K, this is really where you need to go.
Yeah. And of course, like people had a lot of concerns about, of course, everyone heard about the new, the increased wattage.
Yes.
What does it mean when I upgrade? Will it fit in my case? Do I need a new power supply? And so we'll get to that in a sec. Now that we kind of talked about the new NVIDIA features, we're going to talk to you guys more about the new cooling features we've added, because of course thermals is a big question when 40 series was first announced and everyone saw how big the cards were. So yeah, now we're going to show you guys more of what the GIGABYTE and AORUS cards have in terms of new features. Okay, cool. So that's a little trailer from our team on the new cooling technologies. You might have seen some fancy names thrown in that video just now. Get to all that in a sec. So let's first explain some of the generic cooling features on the GIGABYTE and AORUS 40 series graphics cards. These are features that can be found on pretty much every single 4090 graphic card that we have. And we're going to explain to you guys kind of how the cooling works. So first of all, we have included a large vapor chamber, which covers all the critical areas such as the GPU and VRAM. This large chamber increases the contact surface as well as the rate of cooling. Now what happens is the heat will then get transferred through a set of copper heat pipes, which carries it to our extra large heat sinks. The heat sinks itself, we have added some nuances to it as well. They do help to enhance the cooling effects and stuff like that. We do have something called screen cooling. So what is screen cooling? It is the additional extra space on the top of the card or back of the card, depending on which orientation you want to refer it to. But basically, it will give it extra space for unrestricted airflow. And around that area too, on the AORUS Master graphics card, we've also included angled fins. So that allows it to have extra contact area for the air to flow through. And so I do think we have a very linear lineup this time around. WINDFORCE, Gaming OC, Master, and then WATERFORCE. You can kind of see with each level up, you can kind of see either additional cooling features added or additional cosmetic features, which we'll get to in a sec too. And to top it off, guys, we of course have the WINDFORCE fan technology. So as you can see on the cards, we're kind of known for the alternate spinning fans. The middle fan now is going to be spinning in the opposite direction as the side fans, of course. And our fans itself as well, we have our patented WINDFORCE fans on the, of course, the WINDFORCE and the Gaming OC. And then on the Master card, we have something called the Bionic Shark fans, which are pretty cool. So they are kind of like textured and also angled differently, as you guys can see here. And we'll get more to that in a second here. I do want to take a second here to talk a little bit about our dual BIOS as well. So, dual BIOS. Kevin, since I'm going to be holding it up, can you walk us through it real quick?
Yep, so dual BIOS is going to be a physical switch on the PCB. It's located about here and right here on this card. And that basically lets you switch between two different BIOS modes. And it's kind of baked in there already, so you don't have to do anything particular yourself other than flipping the switch. And that'll take you from OC, which is where you're going to have all your performance, to silent. So if you're feeling like, hey, I'm doing too much gaming lately and now I got a jet turbine going off, then you can pop it out over to the silent mode and you'll get a lot more quieter running on your card.
Yep, so the dual BIOS is available on all the GPUs that we have, guys. The button's a little hard to find, so we want to show you guys. It's usually located near the PCIe connector. It's a fairly small switch, so it's easy to miss, but that is something that's standard on a lot of the GIGABYTE AORUS cards. Now, why don't we talk a little bit about the Master, because I see there are comments, a lot of comments actually asking about the Master. They're saying they want to learn more about it. So, so we do have the Master right here, guys. And for this series, something that we want to talk to you guys a lot about is, of course, the power phases, which, Kevin, you can kind of show us around.
Yeah, sure. So one thing that's being talked about a lot for 40 series is power phase. And, while most of the time this is a kind of spec you'll see on motherboards, it does apply to graphics cards too. So power phases basically helps ensure that you have your smooth, stable power delivery from your power supply to your GPU. And, why is that important for this series is because, we have more power going in. We have faster speeds and higher performance. And you really want to have the most stable and cleanest and constant power delivery that you can. If you have weird spikes and dips in your power delivery, it's there's a chance that some of your components on your card will be damaged. So the more power phases, the better. And this you'll see as it goes as we go up our product stack, you'll see the performance as well as power phase also increase. So this kind of a linear progression there as you go up. We'll get into the exact breakdown of power phases a little bit later, but just know that when you're having a higher speed and more power delivery, you're going to want those more power phases to kind of to make the power stable. So so getting into it, Gaming OC is going to be a 20+4 power phase, and then going up you're going to have 24+4 on both the Master and also the WATERFORCE. Yeah, so since that is our flagship card, that's where you're going to get most of the premium features on. So another thing that comes up a lot is, with all this power going into it, obviously there's going to be a lot more heat. Heat is a very big concern. And, that concern is also why we had to engineer such a massive heatsink and cooling solution. And as you go up the stack again, you're also going to see a progression where Gaming OC is going to have 300mm fans. And then WINDFORCE is going to have the 300mm fans. And then moving up, the Gaming OC is going to have 110mm. And Master is where you're going to have our newly fan favorite, 110mm Shark Blade Bionic Shark fan design.
That's a mouthful. That is a mouthful. So why don't we show the Shark Bionic Shark fan video again? We'll kind of explain to you guys how these are different. If you guys were paying attention earlier, we do have, of course, the WINDFORCE fans, and these are the new edition, and what we're calling the Bionic Shark fans, which is only available on the Master, by the way, not on the Gaming OC or the WINDFORCE. So this new design is from our engineering team, and it improves the cooling aspect of our cards in two ways. First, the shape of the blade is redesigned to provide 30% more air pressure, enhancing the airflow. You notice too, guys, there's additional texture on the blades itself, which kind of mimics like the what we call the thermal tentacles of a shark, aka the skin. But anyways, this essentially helps to guide the air along, and so it helps to reduce noise of the fan by about 3 decibels, resulting in a quieter operation at higher speeds. But that's not it. What else is on the fan? Of course, as you guys can see, is our RGB Halo. And so Kevin actually did set up kind of the test bench here, so we can show you guys some different modes that we have on RGB Halo. So these weren't as widely available on the 30 series. If you guys notice, on our 20 series, we did have the LEDs on the fans. On the 30 series, it was limited to just a few models. I think the AORUS Elite, like 3060 Ti, I think that one had it. But that wasn't on the Master or anywhere on the Gaming OCs. Now we're bringing it back for 40 series, and yeah, they look pretty awesome. So if we can dim the lights here, let's see if we can show some of the guys, or show you guys some of the cool new lighting features.
Right, so this first one we have is called Rainbow. It's a little bit hard to, once it gets translated onto camera, but it's a glowing rainbow starting from 3 points, and they all kind of just grow and intersect together. And two of the other modes that I do want to go over are the Dazzle and the Claw mode. So this is our Dazzle mode. You might recognize this from some of our key visuals. This one's pretty cool too. And then we also have the Claw mode. So this one, this is the talons of the Falcon, as it was. That's how I like to call it.
Yeah, so guys, there are actually I think there's way more lighting modes in this. There's like more than 10 that's available on GCC. And yeah, this will be pretty much available to you guys on the Master exclusively, the RGB Halo at least. We'll get to the Gaming OC in just a sec. That one also has the LEDs on the fans.
It does.
By the way. And here's a quick video of how everything will look. Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. By the way, guys, the Master, there's not only the fans that will light up, we also do have, as you guys can see right here, the LCD Edge View, which we'll get to in a second. If you guys are familiar with 30 series, this was introduced there on the higher end cards, and basically on the side of the GPU we have a little LCD screen, fully customizable, and you're able to choose from a variety of different options. For example, if you want to display your system specs like the temperature, sure, we can do that. Or you want to do a GIF of your dog, all right, cool, you can do that too. Or you want to do an image of your girlfriend, sure, you can put that up there too.
I'll probably put my own face on there, actually.
You put your own face? You can do that too. Yeah. Nah. But we also do have a chibi mode, as you guys can see there. It's kind of like a Tamagotchi thing. The more you, as you use your GPU more, or like evolve and stuff like that, and hatch, it's pretty cool. So it just adds a little layer of customization. If you're using these cards, you can vertically mount it to get the nice, RGB Halo lights, or you can just mount it normally and you can still use the LCD Edge View as a kind of a extra layer of customization for your system.
And don't forget, we still have it's a little hard to show, but we do have a light up logo on the back of the card.
Yep.
And, I just want to go back to RGB Fusion really quick and kind of highlight our new and improved GIGABYTE Control Center. I know maybe it hasn't had the best of reputations in the past, but it was really easy to use. RGB Fusion was baked right in there. You can click on your RGB mode. You can set your fan curve. It was a lot simpler. So if you haven't yet, give it a try. It's compatible with all our 40 series, AM5 boards, and all future products. So that one will let you easily find the correct drivers and adjust all your modes on it.
So just to be clear, we used to have AORUS Engine, which helps to control the GPU settings. Now everything has been integrated into something we're calling GCC.
Yep.
So it combines RGB Fusion, AORUS Engine into one, basically.
And all of the platforms that you originally need to do separately, and it will automatically detect all your Gigabyte and AORUS hardware, and it will show you the correct driver versions for you. You don't have to go hunt them down, and all your RGB effects. So if I wanted to, it would be easy for us to sync the motherboard, the RAM, if we had our WATERFORCE AIO installed, also the graphics card, of course, and if we had monitor. Yeah. So just give it a shot.
All right, guys. Last but not least, let's talk about the WATERFORCE graphics card, because this one is something that's available at launch. That was available at launch. Something we don't have in the studio, but we do have an image of it for you guys to check out. Boom. Kevin's holding it up for us here.
I have it right here. No worries, guys.
All right, so this card, guys, it is comes with a 360 AIO with 120 millimeter fans. We can take it off the screen now. I think it should be fine. It does have 24 plus 4 power phases, similar to the Master card as well. And what's cool about that one, of course, it has a attached local cooler essentially, and it has 460 millimeter of tubing, which if we translate to for us English speakers, it's about 18 inches of FEP tubing, which will absorb moisture and prevent it from leaking. They're pretty thick. We've seen it live, and those are absolutely beefy. And that one's gonna be a good addition for people who have the cases that can support multiple 360s or 280 and 360 millimeter radiators.
Right. One of the benefits actually for the WATERFORCE is, everyone knows how big these are. WATERFORCE is going to be a 2-slot card. So for those of you with more case limitations, WATERFORCE is definitely a solution you can look into. It's only dual slot, and as Howard mentioned, you have that extra long tubing for your radiator. So the places that you can mount it is pretty versatile. Gives you a lot of options, and it definitely plays nicer with more builds than our other 4090s, which are definitely above 3 slots. So
they're about they're like 4 slot almost
4 slot.
Almost 4 slot versus 2 slot here. And of course, with the concern of the size of the card, we've also included some GPU brackets, especially on the gaming OC and on the AORUS Master. We have included this additional bracket just for extra security for you guys. The WINDFORCE does not come with this bracket, but it does come with a GPU stand, which kind of serves a similar function. So Kevin's holding it up right here. That is the GPU bracket that comes with every single gaming OC and AORUS Master GPU. And it's relatively easy to install. As you can see, there's 2 connections you need to make, and then this other part would go into the near your case.
So
this goes on the GPU.
It goes on just go into your motherboard, and it has some adapters for the standoffs and everything. And then you can adjust it this side, and just hooks onto basically your heatsink, and it'll help support your card. So this is the version that we have on Gaming OC and Master. And then for WINDFORCE, we actually include a stand. It is adjustable in terms of height, however you want it. So, depending on your case, you can move it up and down. Depending on how you want to install it, you can turn it sideways, whatever it is, that fits your particular case. And, these are both just those little things that we added because we already understand, hey, these cards are pretty big. and they're going to weigh a lot. A lot of people do have trouble with GPU sag, so we've included both of these. And I do want to kind of tie this into our motherboard, where we have the reinforced PCIe slot. And it's not only just from one side, it's reinforced from the top and the bottom of the board. And this will improve the tensile strength by 2.2 times. And it really helps to support, these bigger GPUs as we, get further along in technology.
And another question I've been seeing a lot in the chat has been about the power connectors. So yes, there is a 16 pin, right? Power connect. Oh, there it is. Kevin is holding it up. Yeah, so there is a 16 pin, guys, for this one. We've also included kind of this adapter for power supplies that aren't able to do the power draw.
Yeah.
Right?
So if your power supply did not already come with a 16 pin connector, never fear. We do provide the adapter in every single with every single card. So all you would need to do is make sure you have 4 available regular 6+2 PCIe connectors, and then you'll be able to use the adapter to plug it right into the card. And I do recommend it because it's awesome. Yeah, we're trying to make it as available and as easy to use for everyone as possible, which is why we're including adapters, right? The GPU holders and brackets. It's all just to give everyone a better experience.
And Kevin, I guess what would be like the wattage on your PSU that you would recommend to someone who's picking up a 4090 then?
Okay, so total system power requirement. Let's go with that. Okay. For WINDFORCE and WATERFORCE, we're recommending 850 watts and up. For gaming OC and master, it's going to be 1,000 watts and up. So the reason why I do include and up is it kind of depends also on everyone's individual system spec and what they're trying to do with it. If you're doing a lot of overclocking, you got a lot of stuff going on, maybe 850 and 1,000 is not going to cut it anymore. But if you do have 850 and 1,000 and you're running things pretty normally, you're just trying to, get some games in here and there, it's definitely going to be enough.
Yeah, so that is something to consider, guys, your usage too. But safe zone would be about, I think, 1,000 watt for the master and gaming OC. Just a safe zone. Like, no worries, you should be fine in like most use cases. And yeah, I guess that is kind of the summary of everything we want to go over with you guys today. Before we head off here, I know a lot of people are asking in chat right now about the pricing availability, so we do have a little breakdown for you guys here. So like I mentioned previously, it is a very linear progression. So let's go from the WINDFORCE first. So WINDFORCE is not going to come with any RGB, starting at $15.99. And it's going to have the screen cooling still, like we mentioned. It's going to have dual BIOS, all the good stuff. But it's going to be just all black, kind of a nice finish this time around, actually. Now, when you move up to the gaming OC, which comes in at $16.99, you are going to get the LEDs on the fans and I believe on the side GIGABYTE logo as well. For this one, still using the WINDFORCE technology, same one as the WINDFORCE card right beneath the stack, but you're going to get that LED. And as we move up to the master, this is where you're going to get the edge view lighting effect on the side here. You're also going to get, of course, the Bionic Shark fans instead of the WINDFORCE fans. And so the master is a little flashier. And of course, other than that, like, it also does have the additional lighting on the top of the GPU, or next to the fans as well. So master, in my opinion, looks really, really solid. But if you're interested in, of course, a water-cooled solution, you guys can go with an RTX 4090 Extreme WATERFORCE. So that one does come with a 360 millimeter radiator, as well as about 18 inches of FEP tubing, a 2-slot card for those of you who like kind of like the slimmer profile, but still want to go with the 4090. And the clock speeds too are pretty linear as you go up from the stack as well. And finally, these are going to be available at your available. We're highlighting the U.S. and Canadian retailers for this show. They are, I think, as when we're streaming, sold out in a lot of places. You guys might notice though, we do have a Gigabyte logo over there. So we do actually have a Gigabyte official store that we've actually launched today, and we've put a limited quantity of 4090 gaming OCs on there as well. I'm sure we'll drop the link in the chat pretty soon for you guys to check out. It is a limited quantity, so if you're looking to pick up one of these and you can't find one, be sure to check out the website. And in the upcoming days as well, we'll be restocking limited quantities on that store as well. And our vision for the store is we're going to have more models in the future, more product lines as well. So be sure to stay tuned. That is the official Gigabyte store, but it's only for US only. Just want to throw that caveat out there. So please go check it out if you're interested and you live in the States and you want to pick up a 4090.
Yeah, I do know our team was up pretty late last night working on it, making sure everything was good to go for today. So, you know, we do appreciate their hard work and hope you guys drop by.
Yeah. So that's a little bonus for you guys who tune in with us. You guys are the first ones to know about the Gigabyte store. So be sure to check that out. And of course, guys, if we didn't answer any of your questions here today on the show, be sure to hop on our Instagram story. We'll be doing a story post AMA. So basically how it works, reply to the story post with your question, and we'll try our best to get back to you regarding the any questions on the 4090s. And I think that's about it for us today. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys very soon. It's a very busy month of launches for us. So we'll be around maybe next week. That being said, guys, wishing you guys good luck in getting the cards, a happy building season, all the good stuff. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.